Wheel of Fortune has surged past Jeopardy! In ratings by over 1 million viewers after Ryan Seacrest took over for Pat Sajak. Wheel of Fortune kicked off season 42 on September 9th with new host Ryan, 49, making his highly anticipated debut on the ABC game show. Though Ryan has had a series of mishaps since the premiere, over 1 million viewers have tuned in to watch the famous host. The U.S. Sun can exclusively reveal that 8,310,000 viewers watched Wheel of Fortune for the premiere week of September 9th to September 15th. As for rival game show Jeopardy, which is hosted by Ken Jennings, 7,113,000 viewers tuned in for the episodes. Family Feud came in the number 3 spot for syndicated television with 6,792,000. Wheel of Fortune taking over the top spot is a shock, as Jeopardy! Brought in more viewers overall last season. Job in Jeopardy? The former American Idol star's success on the game show could mean trouble for Ken, 50. A source previously told the U.S. Sun, Ryan is bringing a sense of youth and urgency to the job that is a lot harder to pull off than it looks, and Wheel is bound to get a bump in the numbers once his episodes start running in September. My advice to Ken is that just because mayim is out of the picture doesn't mean he shouldn't watch his back. Ken and The Big Bang Theory's mayim Bialik shared hosting duties until she was let go from the show in 2023. In most media markets these shows run back-to-back and Ken needs to make sure he doesn't suffer from the contrast with Ryan, the insider continued to claim. It's a tricky situation because their personalities are so radically different from one another. A second source told the U.S. Sun that while Ken currently has no long-term contract with the show, he has made it known to higher-ups that he would like to host for the long haul. Jeopardy! Is Ken's religion, he lives it, and he breathes it, and despite all the outside pressures, he's not going to mess this up, the insider claimed. He's proud to have worked his way into this position and believes he has what it takes to make it last for decades to come. The source continued, what he really wants more than anything is to stick around and make this position work for the long run. And if that means making less money to ensure his longevity, you can bet your life he'd be game. This isn't all about the money. It's a way of life for Ken and then some. He's in it for the long run and to secure his status in the show's history. Ken has a 74-game streak as a contestant, taking home $2.5 million. He has made a total of $4.3 million from the game show with tournaments. Ryan's mistakes. Ryan had trouble adjusting to his role as host during the first few episodes. On the premiere episode, a contestant mispronounced the word ripened while solving a puzzle. Ryan ignored the mishap and granted the player the win. I thought he said the wrong word, but when Ryan said he was correct, I assumed I misheard, one fan wrote on Instagram. Why would the producers allow him to win the puzzle when he was wrong? Not a good way to start the new season, especially with a new host, another viewer added. I don't like the fact that Terry mispronounced the winning trip puzzle and he won it. Pat would have said, I'm sorry, Terry, that's not the answer, another said. Really surprised that the mistake wasn't caught. He definitely said riping instead of ripened, a third pointed out. I agree, Ryan is fired after the first episode, a viewer demanded. For his second night as host, he failed to explain the rules to a contestant, causing her to lose $1 million prize. Pat would have explained that if she took the risk, she would have lost the $1 million wedge, one ex-user wrote. Pat would always remind the contestants if they look under the $10,000 they could lose their $1 million wedge. Ryan needs to do this too, wrote a second. Then on the September 16th episode, contestant Vivian made it to the bonus round to solve the What Are You Doing? Puzzle. Vivian picked C, H, M, and P for consonants, while she picked the letter I for her vowel. Vivian screamed out trying to solve the puzzle, wondering some help, answering some help, finding some help, looking around for some help, boundary for help. The buzzer then went off, as Vivian couldn't solve the puzzle, which read offering some help. Ryan showed the audience the prize, as they gasped when they saw $1 million. Ryan smiled and laughed as he said, "You were so close to that $1 million. You almost had it." Vivian had trouble speaking and looked visibly upset as Ryan said, "Are you all right? Breathe." You're still walking away with $27,300 and that trip to Europe. Fans weren't happy with how Ryan handled the loss. One viewer wrote, "Ryan doesn't show the envelope correctly. He keeps showing to the contestant when he should be showing it to the audience and viewers at home. Also, he didn't handle the distraught contestant too well." A second agreed, "I hear ya. It's more devastating maybe than he realizes." A third complained, "He's gotta work on his empathy skills. LOL yikes. Can he even remember what it's like to not be rich?" Ryan laughed at her, "I felt Pat was way more demure about it," another said. A fifth wrote, "Didn't Ryan say something like you're going to kick yourself or something like that? While Pat acted like somebody died." I'm not here to pile on Ryan, but I preferred Pat's approach better. Wheel of Fortune triumphs over Jeopardy. In ratings war, Ryan Seacrest's takeover shakes up the game show landscape ***. In a dramatic turn of events in the world of TV game shows, Wheel of Fortune has surged ahead of Jeopardy by an impressive 1 million viewers since Ryan Seacrest took over as host. The rivalry between these two iconic game shows has always been friendly, with both programs standing as cultural cornerstones of American television. But with Seacrest stepping into the shoes of the beloved Pat Sajak, the dynamic has shifted, and Jeopardy's Ken Jennings has been told to watch his back. The Seacrest effect. When it was announced that Ryan Seacrest would be replacing longtime Wheel of Fortune host Pat Sajak, the news was met with mixed reactions. Could the American Idol host fill the shoes of a man who had defined the show for 4 decades? Fans were skeptical, but ratings since Seacrest's debut have proved the doubters wrong. The show's ratings have skyrocketed, leaving Jeopardy in the dust by a significant margin of 1 million viewers per episode. Seacrest's charm and natural hosting ability have drawn in new viewers while keeping loyal fans engaged. He has brought a fresh energy to the show, blending his upbeat personality with the familiar format. Longtime Wheel of Fortune co-host Vanna White has also played a key role in maintaining the show's sense of continuity during the transition, her chemistry with Seacrest quickly winning over audiences. For many, Seacrest has managed to breathe new life into the show without overhauling what made it successful in the first place. One anonymous industry insider noted, "Ryan is like the ultimate host, he's likable, polished, and comfortable in front of the camera. He's exactly what Wheel of Fortune needed to keep pace with the modern era of television."